Hey everybody, and welcome back to our Valorant. My name is Matt, and it's a pleasure to be back with you guys on the channel today. And I wanted to talk with you all a little bit about the ideal pistol round, how to dominate the pistol rounds in this game, because honestly, man, I really do think this is something that's going to take a little bit for everybody to sort of get the hang of. It's definitely taken me a few days to get better at, and I want to talk to you guys just about a few tips that I felt were useful in sort of helping me dominate pistol rounds. I've improved a lot, I think, in the past few days, and I think there are a few things, even in the gameplay in the background, you guys will see that sort of highlight what I wanted to talk to you all about today. So the first thing I wanted to mention is your buy. What are you guys gonna buy? And honestly, man, I think the Ghost really is the better of all the pistols. Of course, you could go with the Deagle, but you know, if you get in a close quarters situation, you never know. I mean, again, the Deagle's good. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's definitely not as strong as it could be. It's definitely not overpowered by any means. I think it's pretty fine in regards to its balance. I just enjoy the Ghost more as it reminds me of the USPS from Counter-Strike, obviously, and I really do enjoy using it. It just feels good, and I think most people kind of agree with that the Ghost just generally feels pretty good. So what I like to do is I like to buy the Ghost and then buy two abilities. Now, I cannot afford the light armor. If I could, I definitely would get it, but with the Ghost, I can't afford light armor. If you don't want to buy a pistol, you could stay with the default or buy, you know, something cheap. I don't advise it because they kind of suck, but if you want to buy a cheap pistol, you can get light armor, but really, I don't recommend it. I think the best thing to do really is get the Ghost and get a couple abilities, because that's all you're able to afford, but I do think that will help you out a lot more in the long run. The next thing I want to mention, man, is about your abilities, because obviously, nobody in the pistol round is going to have your ult. The game's just starting, so what I think is really important to know, especially even in the rest of the game, I think this doesn't, you know, stay true to pistols. This is true for all of Valorant, I think. Abilities in general, you know, you can get some kills with them, of course, but really, man, they're better for strategic positioning. Like, most of your abilities, man, for the most part, are either for blocking something off, or accessing a certain spot, or blocking off an enemy from accessing a certain spot. That's the way the abilities seem to function, at least for me. I think the way I've sort of worded this, I was talking about this with a few of my friends yesterday, and they completely agreed. I think the best way to really think about this is to build your abilities around your game, as opposed to building your game around your abilities. I think that's the biggest way to think about this, because if you're playing, you know, the entire round just in hopes of getting some, you know, smoke grenade off in a certain spot, feels illogical to me, man. I think your abilities, again, should be used to complement your gameplay and not dictate your gameplay. Another thing I wanted to mention is don't crouch. Do not crouch, man. Your strafing, again, on these pistol rounds is extremely important. Now, for the rest of the game, yes, crouch. It's much more accurate, of course, but when it comes to pistols, man, you're not fighting that recoil like that. It's really just a different feeling game completely, honestly. So the best thing to do, man, is not to crouch, but to strafe. And remember, when you're strafing with your pistol, you're throwing off whoever else is shooting at you. So again, if you're strafing, you're just as hard of a target as someone else who's strafing would be to you. I find crouching just makes yourself completely unnecessarily vulnerable during these pistol rounds when you definitely don't need to be. So that's, again, something that doesn't apply to the rest of the game, but only applies to when you're using pistols. Another thing, and I swear this is going to sound super simple, probably the simplest tip on this list, but really, man, if you aim for the head, it will be a massive improvement for you. Try to consciously think about it. Literally, if you have to write it down on a piece of paper next to you, do that. Really, it doesn't matter, man. But seriously, man, if you consciously think about aiming for the head, I swear to you, you will be better. I mean, it's something that I know is so simple. You're going to be laughing at me for it, but really, man, if you consciously think about this from the second the round starts to the second the round ends, you'll do better, man. I'm telling you. Headshots are ridiculously valuable in this game, and they're definitely something that you guys shouldn't be neglecting. And on top of that, I think the final thing in this video I wanted to mention, on top of the headshot aiming, on top of all of that, what I wanted to really sort of mention with you guys is that you need to take your time. It's the biggest thing that I think a lot of people sort of forget, is that you can get one-taps. One-taps are possible with pistols. I've seen it happen. You guys have seen those ridiculous CSGO plays with Shroud that's on every YouTube clickbait video. You guys have seen them, man. The thing with this game is that one-taps are very possible. They're very feasible. All it takes is practice. And the slower you go in games, the more practice you'll get. Of course, there's no way that all of us will gradually just, you know, go to prodigy level with our aim, but I really do think the best way to get there, or at least try to get there, is by going slow, taking your time, and I promise, man, you'll drop enemies much faster than just aimlessly spamming. I'm telling you, man, that's the most important thing for me. I've noticed that when I go slower, I consciously, again, think about aiming for the head. I'm taking my time. When I do that, man, everything works out. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know down below in the comments your favorite tip in this video. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.